I think it's a universal human phenomenon where no matter how far we've come, we still cut our wings in certain ways. We still self-sabotage. We find excuses to procrastinate and put off doing things that really would make us feel fulfilled and purposeful. And one of the greatest things that I've found was from a book called Do It Today. And you don't need to read the book to benefit from the message because it's all in the title. And it's basically saying that anything that you can do today, any email that you need to send, a phone call you need to make, a deposit on something that you need to make a deposit on, signing up for a course, whatever you can do that is a gift to your future self, but is not so big and stressful and impossible to do today, do it today. And then in a few weeks or a few months, you've started a momentum. Not only have you sent a message to the universe saying, I'm ready to do this, and this is my contribution towards this thing, it's also going to save you when you're feeling even less motivated. You're going to get the email back from the person or from the company. You're going to get a reply. So set something in motion today that's simple, but it's going to really force into action and into reality the thing that you're dreaming about. Jordan Peterson talks about something called incremental improvement. It's intrinsically meaningful. Incremental improvement is something that we can all do without becoming too stressed out and too overwhelmed and too fearful. So I think it goes well with the do it today. What small increment can we do today to make this thing come into reality? He also says something that I will never forget. I've heard him say a lot of things, but this has helped me the most. If you take yourself out of the state of predictability, put yourself against maximum challenges, if you put yourself in a new situation, new codes and genes will turn on in new challenges. And what would you be if all of you were turned on? He goes on to say, if you look in the darkness, you will find the light. If you go to the abyss and find the monster, you find your comatose parent in a desiccated position. You would become the image of the resurrected father-mother. If you take on being voluntarily, you are the light in the darkness, and the light destroys the darkness. It's dark beyond belief, beyond comprehension. That's the search for the Holy Grail. That's the Philosopher's Stone. And there isn't a discovery that's more profound than that. So what we're doing when we are becoming and we're moving towards who we were born and created to be, whatever that unique diamond is that we are becoming, it's going to have many levels. After you do kind of like the basic things to shake things up, it's going to have many, many levels and many layers that are actually really terrifying to your programming. Because the more we step into who we are meant to be, the less we may be understood by the people around us, and the more unconventional some of our decisions might be. And so everything in us is wired to fit in, to be safe, to get along with the tribe and make sure everybody is happy and nobody is disturbed, nobody's feathers are ruffled. And you can't predict how people are going to react to you being yourself and taking these forward movement steps. But it's really the only way, the hard way, stepping into darkness. Stepping into the unknown is another way of saying darkness. It's not like you're stepping into hell. But stepping into the unknown, because we're not really sure how things are going to play out. We don't know who's going to have our back. We don't know who's going to still be there supporting us. We don't know how misunderstood we're going to be. But this is a journey that's worth it, no matter who you lose on the way by being yourself. Even if it's family members, even if it's the people who are closest to you. This is the journey that your soul came to earth to do. Rumi famously said, "Do you think that I know what I'm doing? That for one breath or one half breath I belong to myself? As much as a pen knows what it is writing, or a ball can guess where it's going next." We don't need to know the exact way to get there. We just have to take the next step. All of us can take a next step. All of us can do that, even if it's like a micro step. We don't need to know how it's going to turn out or exactly what the journey is going to look like in order to take one step. And as an instrument of the divine, we become more like nature when we start to take these little steps and follow the breadcrumbs of synchronicities, follow the breadcrumbs of spirit. If you watch an ant walking around, he's not going in a straight line. A lot of what he's doing doesn't even necessarily make sense, but he's being guided by some sort of inner guidance or nature to know where he needs to go next. And we are not that different. We are part of nature too, and our mind and our logic gives us so many reasons why we shouldn't take those next steps and why it's not going to work out and why we're not good enough and why no one in our family has ever done this and why we're not trained to do this, whatever this is. But whatever this is what you came born to do. Whatever this is what your soul came to earth to do. And it's actually part of the process to not know the exact way there. If your human part knew the exact way to get to where you want to go, it wouldn't be a challenge, you wouldn't evolve, you wouldn't be frightened and have to pick up courage. There wouldn't be a hero's story. And so there has to be fear. There has to be challenge in order for us to bring our soul forward and respond with courage. In Kenneth Carey's book, The Return of the Bird Tribes, he talks about how someone who has decided not to be part of the fearful machine of the earth, where everyone does the same thing and everyone is terrified of evolution and moving forward and stepping into the unknown. In that type of a culture, someone who is in harmony with nature, with divinity, with personal evolution, is going to be the one that is probably the most uncomfortable, because that one is stepping into the unknown. And the surrounding society, the surrounding people that feel comfortable staying the same, that feel comfortable not challenging themselves, might be intimidated or irritated with someone who is stepping out there and doing something different. So we can never look to those kind of people, which are the majority of people, to support us and to cheer us on and to celebrate. And that is part of becoming. Because if everyone around us was cheering us on and celebrating us for stepping out and doing really frightening, risky things and going into the unknown and dropping our old self, if people were actually celebrating that, everyone would be doing it. It would be comfortable, and therefore no evolution would be happening on the inside. So it's the way of it that most people are not going to be supportive of some of our big dreams, some of our dropping the old to become the new. And so it seems like part of the path is being able to stand alone for periods of time while we do these things without big support from other people and perhaps naysaying from other people. If that's you and that's happening, know that this is exactly how it is set up and designed, and that the person that you are becoming as a result of this process couldn't happen any other way. It's like the eye of the needle or the narrow gate. It's like the massive squeeze that's making you into who you were meant to be. So continue to be unafraid to look into the unknown, to be unafraid to try new things, to notice when you're cutting your own wings. Just notice without judgment. And then from there, decide, what can I do today that's going to bring me one step closer to the person that I want to become? Just one thing. Do one thing today.